Hello, I'm TheNerdySteve and welcome to my movie review channel. If you like what you see, I'd appreciate you liking, commenting, or subscribing. Today I will be reviewing Mission Impossible Final Reckoning in one take. So, let's go. Ethan Hunt has to save the world. Again. And this time, the stakes have never been higher. Will he and his team succeed? You're going to have to watch to find out. So let's talk transparency. I don't remember the last Mission Impossible movie I've seen. I may have seen the first or second one when I was little, but if I did, those are forgotten memories now. I'm saying this because I'm going into this movie not knowing a lot of the plot threads leading up to it, which, if I'm being honest from what I've heard and read, might or might not be a good thing. Regardless, I know this is part of a larger story, so I'm missing some slight context here, but I ultimately don't think it would change my review that much had I seen the previous films in the series. I have a couple of problems with this movie. The first is that I think it's a little too long. The film is close to 3 hours, and you feel the length, which is not something you want to be saying about a spectacle filled action movie. The major problem here is the first third of the film. I feel like the movie is trying to help people like me get a lot of context for what we're about to see, but even then, there's a lot of exposition going on and some of it feels a little heavy handed. The movie just kind of fumbles in the beginning, but then once we get to the middle, it picks up the pace and really starts to fly from there. Again, I want to reiterate the movie's pace does get better as you watch, but the drag of the first third does weigh it down. I think this is partly because the second and third act have these really cool set pieces that are adrenaline filled in their own cool and unique ways. The first third is missing this thing that really holds it together. And again, it's not bad or even necessarily boring. It's just long. Another problem I have with this film is that it's realistic but too fantastical at times. I love watching my protagonists get themselves out of sketchy situations. I mean, that's part of the appeal of these action adventure movies and the genre itself. So when the movie tells you how dangerous something is, like literally goes out of its way to say, you're going to die if you do this, and then your protagonist lives once they do that, you feel cheated. And I felt cheated. It ultimately didn't really affect my enjoyment of the movie, but there's kind of a circle of trust that movies create. Hey, obviously this movie is entertainment, but these are the rules we will break and these are the rules we won't break. But Mission Impossible Final Reckoning kind of breaks their own rules multiple times. It would have been a much better viewer experience to have seen our characters find a way out of their situations instead of just magically living through it or pure coincidence. I hope that makes sense. But the fight scenes and the spectacle of this film are probably why you're watching it for, and those don't disappoint. While I talked about the first act being slightly long, it's filled with some pretty great hand-to-hand combat that is freaking awesome to watch and other intense scenes. Then you have the submarine and plane set pieces, and I felt both were handled spectacularly well. The submarine part had me literally holding my breath, and the plane sequence, I literally felt like I was on a roller coaster, and that's what I want to feel during these types of movies. Overall, I did enjoy Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. I think there is a better movie in here. It's just muddled in a lot of needless plotting. I can't say how good of a send off to the franchise it is, but I found it an entertaining spectacle of a film. And I think that's what it's trying to be, and it does it well. If you want to be entertained by jaw dropping action, you will get what you want. I'm the Nerdy Steve, and thank you so much for watching. And as always, like and subscribe and comment below to tell me how right or wrong you think I am. Have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. Bye.